What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hanlon, aka the Laptop Legend, and what a crazy day it was today. I finished up $2,340 on the day in profit, and that might sound like a good number, but oh my god, it should have been easily 5 figures in profit. Today, it felt like everything was running a ridiculous amount, and I left so much profit on the table, and it was probably the most frustrating day I've had since my almost $17,000 loss, because literally it was just so frustrating. Fidelity, if you aren't using Fidelity, you know, you didn't suffer from this, but if you do use Fidelity, Fidelity was down a good portion of the day, and orders were not refreshing on Active Trader Pro. So if you place an order, it just didn't show up unless you manually refreshed, and it made it a real pain. Your orders didn't show up, and then your positions also didn't show up. So I mean, it literally was a nightmare trying to trade, and that happened right as all the best opportunities were going on. So again, I left easily $10,000 on the table today, if not more. We had some insane runs. TSPD, insane run. A bunch of other stocks running, you know, multi-100%. I mean, over 500%. I mean, they were just one after another. It was insane, absolutely insane. So I'm going to talk about what I did to make the money that I did make today, what I left on the table, and you know, how you guys can stay green even on a day that's frustrating like this. And then I'm going to talk about the stocks that I think are going to be running tomorrow that I'm planning on buying, because we got some that are, you know, some pretty good setups. And typically speaking, if I'm talking about in my videos, there's going to be some type of opportunity there. So if you are, you know, waiting for the right opportunity and you're ready to pounce on it when it appears, you're going to be able to make some pretty decent money consistently. So that's what this video is for. If you find it helpful, please obliterate that like button, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I make these videos every single day. So let's do it. Alright guys, so I'm here on my laptop, and this is the chart for TSPD. This is honestly the one that bugs me the most, because as predicted, it broke down through that 275 support, and if you guys remember, that support had lasted a very long time, at 275 area. It really hadn't broken down under there at all. It had held, and then when it did, it had a nice little, you know, 25-cent panic-ish, and it was just consolidating around this area right in here. And I was dip buying. I dip bought here, but it looked like it was going to break under 250. I wasn't sure how far I was going to go, so I ended up cutting. And overall, I took a $21 loss on TSPD. I had like 20,000 shares up in this area. So I mean, I pretty much got out break even, but I was buying huge for a big move, and I ended up cutting right here and watching some other stocks. It popped back up a little bit and was uptrending, but I didn't get in this area. And then Fidelity went down, and it decided to go, oh, I don't want to zoom in that much. It decided to go on this absolutely insane run, pretty much straight from 3 cents all the way up to 345 with no real pullbacks. No real pullbacks. So absolutely insane. Shout out to Dan. He banked on this move. I think he made like 5,000 on just this ticker. So love to see people profiting in the Discord, but I really missed this entire thing, and I gotta blame this one on Fidelity, because it's just frustrating, guys. It's really frustrating. So some people said this was because of the shorts having to cover. Today was like supposedly the last deadline for the CUSIP change. I don't know if I believe that. I think it was pretty oversold. Maybe that had something to do with it, but definitely had a little bit of a squeeze here for people, you know, shorting under 275, and thought it was going to go down a little further. So really did have a nice bounce back. For those of you who are, you know, bag holding this, you know, it was a nice day. It was a nice day. Hopefully you didn't cut right at the bottom here, or if you cut it, you know, break at 275, maybe you bought back in at 250, but really did have a nice comeback. This one I think could see some continuation. Hopefully we continue to get this volatility, or, you know, we get a nice morning panic and then a bounce off of that or something. But they do have a lot of good news coming up. Again, we have the actual app being released pretty damn soon, as far as I know, and then we also have the audited financials coming very shortly in Q2. So we do have some catalysts coming up for this thing. So I think it could start moving its way on back up. And I think, you know, a 250 entry for like a swing position, I think it would have been decent. I can't hold on a position that I'm negative on at this point. I'm so bad at that. I'm really bad at doing that, which stinks, because I think 250 would have been a decent entry, you know, for a swing. If you look at this overall, like, I mean, all the way down from 664, I think 250 would have been a decent entry, because maybe with audited financials and whatever, it squeezes past and breaks that. I'm not sure if it can do it, but we'll see. So definitely want to keep this one on watch. This is just one of the many stocks that were going insane today. AABB this was another one, guys. So it kind of panicked right out of the gate, and then had a lane bounce attempt, choppy bounce, went up there, panicked some more, and just started squeezing later on in the day. Went absolutely insane, had a leg up, consolidation, another leg up, consolidation, another leg up, consolidation, another leg up, and it actually made a higher high after that, but it feels like everything's spiking, guys. So this is still on watch for sure. It's still closed decently, but I would prefer a morning panic at this point, maybe all the way down to 30 or something like that, 31, look for a dip buy around that area. I think that would be a better setup on ABB, but we just got to see with the, them keeping the interest rates low. I think the entire market, along with the stimulus check, is going to be booming. And it felt like everything was going insane today, guys. It felt like everything was going insane. ENZC, this is another old friend that went insane today. I mean, look at that run, just absolutely ripped up. I missed out on all this because, again, Fidelity was just broken in this time period, which is so frustrating. Felt like everything was running. If you guys think this was crazy, just wait, because I've got like 5 tickers that went absolutely nuts. So MDMP, this is our old friend, and he decided to spike up again today. So just out of the blue, just straight ripped out of nowhere, and then redid it again there, and then just kind of faded off. I only made $100 on this one. I was trading blind because of Fidelity, so super frustrating. UAMM, another old friend. This was another one that I talked about in like 2 videos ago. It had just been fading off, but then it found a base and spiked up huge again. So pretty cool to see. Again, if I pull up the let's go 5-day, 15-minute, you can see this one came from nothing, faded back down, and then had some pretty strong movements today. So pretty cool to see that. SODE, this is one I talked about in the video yesterday, and this is what happens with the chart sometimes, which is why you don't want to turn into a bag holder. So this is why I always cut losses quickly. This literally just faded off. Now, I'm not here to say, this can't pop back up like MDMP did, 5 days, 10 days after its run. So it's definitely still on watch, but just be aware, you don't want to bag hold something like this when it's up that much. Continuing on down the line, guys, so many crazy stocks. So NRPI, this one was running right out of the gate. Look at this stock, guys. I mean, look at the range on this thing. Look at the range on this thing, up from 10 cents all the way up to 45 cents. I mean, that's a big run. That's a big run. This is just one example. I mean, there's multiple hundreds of percents available in there. So many. VBHI. This one was absolutely insane. From 1 cent all the way up to 10 cents. This was actually my best ticker. I made $670 on this ticker, and I left so much on the table. So much on the table. But this thing just absolutely died late day. I mean, it absolutely died. Faded all the way back down. This is why you don't bag hold. You buy at the top here, you're down 70% of your position right now. That's insane. That's insane. So definitely still on watch, but not on high watch because it faded off a lot. Let's keep going. MDRM. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Absolutely insane. And this one I can't blame on Fidelity. I just missed the entry. I saw it about here and thought it was too late to chase. Straight up from 2 cents all the way up to 9 cents. And then it got a little extra bump from everyone's favorite guru. I'm not going to name names here, but it pushed it on up all the way up to 14 cents. Very frustrating. So if I had chased, I would have, made another 500, made another 1,000 on this run right there. But, is what it is. That's just the type of day it was. So this is probably not on heavy watch because it faded off a lot, but it could have, a spike in a couple of days. So this is just another one that we gotta keep an eye on and be ready for it to be moving. Let's see, guys. I'm just gonna keep going down the line. ALYI. My goodness, I can't do it. This one, it doesn't look like there's a lot of opportunities, but you can see we had the same spread thing going on here, guys, and I made $300 flipping the spread on this. So be aware that there is an opportunity for that on this stock, and take advantage of it on slow days if you don't have commissions, because I sold probably 30 or 40 times on this stock. So if I had commissions, that would have been a fat load of commissions. Would have been a lot. Let's see. FORW was moving, obviously, because TSPD was moving. I mean, had a pretty nice run. It's just crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It's wild. It felt like everything was running today, and Fidelity was probably down from, I would say, in this window right here. So very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Forwardly still on watch, obviously, if TSPD keeps moving. AITX closed right at the highs. Honestly, might have been a good overnight because it closed right at the highs. I think we had the first green day in after a couple of red days, so we'll see what happens. But, you know, after this... Oh, no, it did gap up. It looks like it did gap up. Yeah, so it tends to gap up after Green Day. So we'll see what happens, guys. This probably could have been a decent overnight now that I think about it. I just don't like holding stocks overnight because I don't like starting off negative. So we'll see what this one does. We'll see what AITX does. But Fat Man was a little less aggressive today overall, but I still don't trust it. I don't trust it not to keep dying. OZSC, this one also went insane. And, you know, guess who didn't get to take advantage of any of this run? Crazy, guys. Crazy. So many opportunities today. It was one of those days where it was like, it was really tricky, but there were a ton of stocks moving. So, like, you probably made less than you feel like you should have, which makes it really frustrating. And these are just OTCs, guys. These are just OTCs. SING, this was also moving. IMTL had a really nice breakout towards the end. And this thing is probably going to keep running as well. Really nice breakout past this level. If you go to the 1 year chart, oh, maybe not. I could have sworn, maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. I could have sworn that it was going to be a breakout there. Like right at the beginning of the 1 year chart, it was a little bit higher than it is right now, but maybe it already broke past that. I don't remember. But yeah, this stock is on heavy watch as well. IMTL. I just got to keep going down the line, guys. There's so many stocks, honestly, so many stocks. And the biggest thing for me on these is trying to ride the momentum or get in on dips when they're spiking and just take my profits when they're there. That's how I'm banking on these every day. I'm trying to manage my size, not get in too big. If I think there's a chance they can dump really big on me, or you know, if I think there's a low chance, then I'll get in big size and try to take advantage of it. And I sell when I'm up just to lock in those profits. And you know, I'm probably leaving a lot on the table, but I'm also avoiding taking big losses. MITI, we actually had some good news from this. I should have called that out earlier. We actually had a new CFO, Philip Keller. I want to talk about that just a little bit. You can see he was previously employed by Solution Management Corp as Managing Director. He also served as CFO of Rehab Care, Inc., a $1.5 billion provider of rehabilitation services to hospitals, etc. So CFO of a $1.5 billion company is now CFO of MIDI. So again, their executive board is unheard of in OTC land. Another great acquisition. I'm not sure if this move up is caused by, you know, what MIDI is doing, what they're doing with the new acquisitions of, not acquisition, I mean the new hires. You know, I don't know if it's because of the CFO or this is just the daily fluctuations in price. So I don't really trust this move. I'm not going to get excited on this quite yet. But again, I think if their goal is to uplist by, you know, mid-May or the month of May, I'm assuming it's not going to be the 1st of May, but, you know, at some point in May, there's going to be some more good news coming. So I think this is just the first of many good PRs, and I'm still holding on my shares. I'm not even counting what I'm up unrealized on MIDI today. Technically, I was up 6,140 unrealized on MIDI today, but I'm not counting that because, you know, it could just as easily fade back down to 28, 27 tomorrow. And again, I think until we get some more locations opening, stuff like that, I don't think it's really gonna be moving too much. You know, maybe a good acquisition of an already revenue producing company. I could see that pushing the price up a good amount, but I'm still holding long and strong on MIDI. Still got 160,000 shares, and I'm happy to have that. If it dips down a little bit more, I'll probably try to get another 40,000 to make an even 200,000. But for now, I'm fine with the size that I have. Let's see what else. Man, guys, just so many stocks moving. Really, so many stocks moving. NRPI, this was another stock, OTC stock that moved a ton. I don't know if I called this one out already, but from 10 cents all the way up to 45 cents. Like, so many huge runners. Absolutely insane. BTCS, this had a little bit of a dip there. I got in, but sold right there. Barely made anything. A couple of NASDAQs that were moving that you guys want to keep an eye on for sure if you are into that type of stuff. TCAT, this man went on a crazy squeeze. I guess it's not a man, it's a stock. That's just how we talk. Us Gen Z. Am I a millennial? I think I'm right at the cutoff. I think I'm a millennial. But yeah, you can see, I mean, this stock squeezed so hard. I know some people who took some big losses, lost $50,000 shorting this stock. So you got to be careful these short squeezes, guys. I didn't make an attempt to short this, but this could have been a decent long. I feel like we're getting a lot of stocks that have some really strong momentum. And this is just another one of those examples. You want to know why it squeezed? I talked about this yesterday, but if you're looking for long entries on stocks like this, you see how it never ever breaks down, right? Higher high, holds this, higher high, holds the lows, higher high, holds these lows, higher high, doesn't break down below these lows, or VWAP, holds it, can't break down, holds it, and at this point it's up multi 100% on the day. Keeps going, finds a higher low, breaks up, makes a higher high, breaks up, makes a higher high, and at this point you know, man, this thing's gonna keep squeezing. Keeps going, makes a lower low, but can't break down, rejects the breakdown, goes back up to that support level, and keeps ripping. So I mean, absolutely crazy squeeze. These things, when they're over, 100% up on the day, 200% up on the day, and they're not breaking down, they're not making really lower lows, and they're holding that support, it's a pretty good chance that they keep squeezing. So if you guys want to go long on these things, definitely consider it, because they can go absolutely insane. TCAT's probably just going to fade off now. Honestly, it's probably just going to fade off if I had to guess, but it did close pretty much right at the highs, so potentially could turn into a multi-day squeezer. We know that can happen. KOSS did that. A couple other stocks did that, so don't want to count it out of the question. Count it out already. It could definitely do it. Let's see if there's any other stocks that I want to talk about in here. Sorry, it's all a mess. OCG. This is one that I mentioned a couple days ago that I actually got squeezed on, and you can see this bad boy was squeezing again today. So it's pretty funny. If I go to 5-day, 5-minute chart, you can see I got squeezed on this day. It faded all the next day, and then today it squeezed past those highs. So maybe tomorrow it just fades all the way down and then squeezes again the day after that. I have no idea, but definitely some room for profiting on OCG. Definitely a funny stock. I mean, it's just weird. It's weird how it reacts, but for me, it's a potential short tomorrow if this thing stays up this high and just starts fading off all day long, because history doesn't repeat itself, but history rhymes. That's what they always say in the stock market. So got to keep that in mind. YVR, another NASDAQ that was spiking up bigly. Again, I really didn't trade NASDAQs today, guys. Not at all. But if you guys are interested in these, IMTE was another one. IMTE, kind of decent. AMC, if you guys like that type of stuff, was squeezing after hours. Had a ton of volume right at close. Ton of volume, and then just started squeezing. So if you're into AMC, I guess go for it. And UPST, I think that was it's going insane after hours. UPST, I don't know if you guys are into that. Not a stock I would probably trade, but it's doing something. I'm sure there's some news or something. I don't really care. I'm not going to trade this, but if you guys want to, definitely got some range on it, so look into it if you want. That's pretty much it. My biggest watches for tomorrow, if I had to say, it's tough. I'd say probably a panic on ABB. That would be my ideal setup, or ENZC, because it's up a lot, and obviously, the more it goes up, the more room it has to panic and then bounce for me. I love those morning panics and bounces on ENZC, so probably morning panic or bounce on ENZC and ABB. AITX may gap up and keep running, so if it starts running out of the gate, I would look for that. And then TSPD, did have a nice close. Typically gaps up after its first green day, so we'll see what happens with that. And it could definitely keep running to break that, or it could have a nice little panic for us and give us a nice bounce, maybe a 20-cent panic and bounce off of this kind of VWAP area. I don't know. Maybe a rebounce off of 275. That would be crazy. So I don't know, guys, but definitely a lot of opportunities out there. Hopefully Fidelity's not down tomorrow, because if it's down again, I might just have to, I don't know, do something bad. Might have to punt a baby. There we go. OZSC also likes to gap up after first green days, so I'm kind of expecting one on this bad boy right here. It's just down so much, but had a lot of red days. Man. But first green day there. So again, you can see likes to gap up after those first green days. Literally every time it's gapped up after the first green day. So we'll see what happens. Maybe opens 15 or something like that. 14.5. I could see that happening. Make a penny a share overnight. So I'm not long this, but I think it could definitely continue. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's a higher low, and then it rips up over 20 cents, over 22. CEO of OZSC says he has some decent news coming, but he's trolling the shorts because he knows that they're listening in, so he's just gonna randomly drop PRs apparently without announcing them now. So we gotta stay on our toes and make sure that we're ready for when these PRs come out. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully you made it to the end. I know very few people do. I think it's up a little bit now. It's like 10% instead of the like 3% that it used to be. So I appreciate all you guys who watched the end. It means a lot. I don't like talking to the camera for no reason. You know, I make these videos so you guys can watch them. So I appreciate you guys. That's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully Fidelity's not acting up tomorrow. And yeah, let's grow better together. Preguntar, bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.